Variables are an easy way to let end users dynamically change queries. By directly taking input from Google Sheets and then modifying the query on the fly to let users easily select different kinds of data or different filters from the one that is saved in your queries. I'm going to show you how you can set one up. So first, let's look at this query. The query is called variables, and it runs a simple SQL query. If I were to run this, it would simply show up on my sheet. Now, let's say that you want to let end users modify the method here on the fly. One way you can do this is by adding a simple dropdown in Google Sheets and then letting users change the value. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is user input, and let's add a dropdown here. And dropdown, the first option will be overwrite, and the second option will be append. Oops. And then you save it. Once you save it, you now have a little drop down that you can use to select different values. Now, let's say that you want to let your user change his input based on the value here. So all you have to do is you can go to the query, modify it, and you can add a handlebar. And in handlebars, all you have to do is enter the cell location for where the value is. In this case, this value is in cell G10. So if you do G10 and save this query, next time it runs, whether manual or via auto refreshes, it will take the input from the sheet, dynamically edit this query, and then run the result for you. So user input override, if I were to run this, I will get all queries with the override method selected. But if I change this to append and I rerun this, it will overwrite this sheet with new data, and in this case data would say append. So you can use this to set any sort of value here and pass it to your SQL query on the fly. So you only have to save your query in this way, and then you can modify it from the sheet to change the cell input. It doesn't have to be a dropdown, it could just be any cell. So in this case, if I change it to G13, I could also just say overwrite here, and it should still run. There you have it. And that's how you use variables.